Have you wondered how far people would come to not fall asleep? Imagine this. You are deeply asleep, dreaming quietly, and suddenly, a hammer starts hitting you in the head and throws you to the ground. No, it's not a joke, not a comedian movie. It was a real invention of the Victorian era. Today, to immerse ourselves in one of the most curious artifacts in history, the Acom alarm clock. But to understand why someone would think that this was a good idea, we have to travel to London of the 19th century, where creativity and need were the most peculiar forms. We are in full industrial revolution. The streets of London are full of smoking factories, and thousands of workers living under the tyranny of the clock. Arriving late was not an option. You could lose part of your salary or even your work. The problem was simple but crucial: how to make sure to wake up in time. The waking watches existed, but they were a luxury that few could afford. This is where a fascinating profession enters. Stockfish. These people toured the streets at dawn with long sticks, hitting the windows of their customers to wake them up. Some even Surbitanas, Pigrecillas to the crystals. Yes, people paid for someone to bother them every morning, but some inventors wanted to go further. Thus was born alarm clock. The mechanism was as simple as a mechanical clock connected to a lever that, when the scheduled time arrived, activated a hammer that repeatedly hit the pillow and the head of the sleeping. There were even more extreme versions that leaned down until they were thrown to the ground or vibrated until you fell. On the one hand, it worked. Of course, it was impossible to continue asleep after receiving blows on the head or finding you on the floor. How can you imagine? He had his inconveniences, from Shoshones and bruises to waking the whole family with the scandal. Not to mention that starting the day being attacked by your own bed was not exactly the best way to maintain a good mood. The Victorian obsession with early awakening did not stop there. There were electric pillows that gave minor downloads, beds that sprayed you with cold water, an alarm clock that fired a small cannon. Punctuality had become a moral virtue, and sleeping too much was seen as a sign of character weakness. Fortunately for our skulls, the alarm bed with popular hammer. The waking watches improved, became more accessible, and above all but violent. Nowadays, the few survive are museum pieces that remind us how far human creativity can go, and how lucky we are to be able to wake up with the soft sound of our phones. If you like this story of peculiar inventions, do not forget to like and subscribe to more historical curiosities. And tell me in the comments what strange method you have used to make sure to wake up in time. See you in the next video.